You couldn't hear me.
Can now.
Can now. It's okay. I saw you pointing.
Yeah,
Hi,
I'm too
everyone.
excited. Let's do that again.
Okay.
Welcome to Kuguna Matters and Cannon Fodder. We're simultaneously streaming on YouTube and Facebook. Below me is John the Geezer and Seema, the First Lady. Asuma Doubt, the First Lady. Welcome to the Tuesday night show. And we have a preview and a review of the Arsenal. How are you guys doing? Seema, you're the lady, so let's start with you.
Great. I mean, fantastic. Loved every bit of it, on a high, and may it continue. That's all I say.
No celebrating,
continue.
come on, tone it down.
I've done it. I've gone around the kitchen. Yeah.
No celebrating.
It's not upset people.
Okay, I'm gonna get out the Indian drums. I'm getting the dolls out. We're gonna do some bhangra. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a photo of you guys.
That's illegal. That's a red card. That Glenn.
Yeah, that's a red card. Yeah,
straight red.
Let's get into it straight away.
Yes.
We obviously have a bit of a show, which is obviously.
Yeah.
This has been for me a phenomenal weekend of joy. Obviously, South Africa has won in the African Cup of Nations. We beat Cape Verde, and of course we're going into the semi-finals. But this is not a Bafana show. This is an Arsenal show.
Yes.
John, I don't know if you watched the game on Sunday before the men's game. What a blow to the ladies.
The challenge. Yeah.
Challenge.
I didn't. I've seen the highlights, and like as you say, yeah, what a blow. I mean, you took that result for granted, and there you go. Or I did. I thought that definitely beat West Ham, but fair play to West Ham. What I see of it, I think they deserved it. But yeah, a bit of a blow to them. Definitely a blow to their title hopes, isn't it? But yeah, got a lot to do now. A lot to do. Pressure's on.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be back.
How's it, Joan? How are you doing?
Evening, Joan.
Hi, Joan. Oh,
you on mute. You're on mute, Joan. Your mic.
Joan.
Hang on a second.
Right now.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I was doing a live show on Saturday evening. So I didn't get to watch the game because I was driving back, but I got to see obviously I managed to get to see. No, I didn't get. I didn't watch the highlights, unfortunately. But I watched the men's game. I was back quite late because of accidents and everything. So by the time I got back, even the men's game was finished. So I've been following the men's game today.
Joan, you weren't on the A1000, was you, Joan? Saturday or Sunday? I was stuck on that.
No, I was on the M3.
Oh right, that
then
way.
And then the A303 going down towards the West Country.
Yeah, I was stuck. I had to listen to it on the radio. I was stuck on the A1000. Dropped my daughter off. Yeah. Nightmare. Oh well.
Oh, poor you, John. You had to listen to those idiots talking.
Yeah. Talk. Well, I won't say talk. I'm too polite for that. But yeah. I don't take no notice of them fellas. You know what I mean? They're just doing it for clickbait, aren't they? Really, they got nothing better going on in their lives than to be miserable, man.
Yeah.
Who don't celebrate football? Come on, man.
Yeah, right, let's go back to the ladies, shall we?
These guys are we're gonna get to that. Seema, I mean, you obviously watched the game, so
no, I didn't actually watch the game because I was at the Emirates at the time. I'd left early that day.
Okay.
But I did watch the highlights. I did watch a lot of interviews, and I sort of scrutinized it a little bit because I think that they weren't given that penalty, were they? That shout in the final minutes.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
some good
so
players
the-
out there, though.
yeah, I think I watched the game obviously. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think after the goal for Alessia Russo, I think we went to bed really. And they got a penalty, which I don't think was inside the box. It was just outside the line. So they
Yeah.
obviously got the penalty. They don't have VAR, so you can't really say.
Yeah.
So the referee obviously has to make use of her eyes and of course the linesman, which I don't think was even close to the line to be able to see that it is a penalty. But be that as it may, I think we were very, very poor. And then, of course, I've got a question here. Obviously, you guys didn't see the game, so someone has to be blamed. And these are the names that I picked up. Russo obviously had a couple of chances after that goal. And then the goalkeeper, she had I don't know, she has to really pull up her socks. And then, of course, the manager. We asked last time, why doesn't he get scrutinized, Joan, in the media? Obviously, they don't get covered, but surely he needs to get some of the blame. What do you think?
Well, I get asked this question a lot, and I don't believe any manager goes there, tells their team to go out there and play rubbish or play. You know, they go out there. The manager tells them what to do, and I'm going to go back to what I said maybe last week, that, and this applies to the men's game and every game. If it is not working, you're on the pitch, do something about it. Argue it out with the sort of manager afterwards. I mean, John sort of said about taking things for granted. No matter what, you can't take any game for granted. You know, you've got to put the same level in for every game that you play. But you know, the manager goes out, gives them a game plan. If it's not working, why isn't it working? And you're on the pitch, do something about it to turn it around. You know, it's that. I'm very much like that. If we got our jobs or whatever, if it's not working, we go, so this really isn't, but I think this might work. Have a go, and you might get a surprise.
Yeah, you may. And then, of course, Seema, Leah Williamson, I love her too, but she's a very good player. Yes, she has obviously had a long layoff of injury, and coming back and starting a game of this magnitude against a West Ham that has not won a game. They're obviously facing relegation. So was it too soon for her to come into a game like that? I mean, yes, you didn't watch the game, but I'm sure they showed us a couple of highlights that there is a mistake in her, especially after such a long time.
Well, I mean, I watched the highlights on the Arsenal app, and I saw the interviews afterwards as well. And one of the main things that they stated that they didn't do very well at all was actually open up their defense. They just they just couldn't pass the ball correctly, and they just didn't do what what it says on the tin, which they've been doing all along. They just didn't follow it through. Now, whether that was, you know, the fact that Leah was back captaining, and you know, or they just didn't follow what was the plan. And it kind of looked more like they didn't follow what the plan was.
Yeah. So,
sorry, Joe,
John,
what were you going to say?
John?
Sorry, Glenn.
No, I was sort of saying what Seema said, that he's given them a plan to go out there with, and you execute that plan to the best way that you can. But I mean, I didn't see it, but it's obviously that plan wasn't executed. Was there a little bit of, we are taking West Ham for granted as a team? You know, this is a sitter. It's an easy thing to get in your mind sometimes, but you have to give the same effort, you know, no matter what position anybody else is in. You've got to give 100% all the time. If you're serious about your challenges, and I think that goes to, you know, I think that really happens.
Maybe bringing her back for the West Ham game was a big step for her. He should have maybe bring her back in, you know, when they play the London Lionesses. So you know, that could be, that's a
Yeah.
cup game, you know, lower, do you know what I mean? Like not so
Lower,
highly, and it won't cost,
intensity,
you know,
correct, yes.
yeah, the intensity,
And
yeah.
and John Giza, that is obviously down to the manager. I mean, surely he needed to know that yes, he wants her to play and he wants her to impact the game, but you need to make sure that your players are up for it, even though she's hungry to come and play. But as the manager, you need to make the decision, Giza, isn't it?
What I see of the first half, right? I think it was like the Arsenal men's West Ham game. We was all over them. What I see of the highlights, but West Ham, when they got that goal back, they took the upper hand, and fair play to them. They done a good job. They done Arsenal good and proper. I will say, I think they need a new keeper, Arsenal. That Mary Opes, I think that will be crucial for them next
I think
season.
that's going to happen in the summer, Seema, right?
Yeah, if they
Yeah,
can get
so,
her,
yeah.
that will be, no offence to the other keeper, but to improve,
But-
they do need that Mary Opes.
John, I mean, I know you're saying that it was kind of like the Arsenal game, but they didn't even have a proper shot on target until the 24th
Exactly my
or the
point.
26th minute. So what was going wrong? And then when they did have the chances, they just couldn't put it in the back of the net. It hit the crossbar. I think 3 times.
Well,
Yeah.
you'd think Leah Williamson coming back into it would like kick him on, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? Bigger boost, but maybe it had the opposite effect. Got players thinking, "Oh, right, have I got to step back a bit and let her take the front lead," sort of thing.
Yeah.
Football, it's an old cliche. It's a funny old game.
Yeah.
You're as good as your last game.
Yeah.
You literally are as good as your last game. That manager could have every detail down to a T. He could have them fine-tuned. And once they're on the pitch, it is all down to them. If they don't carry out the orders, or for whatever reason, one of them's fatigued, or, it's just like us at work, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some days you're ready. Some days you're ready.
Surely the manager has to see these things, and obviously from the sideline. I mean, we criticize Mikel Arteta so much for that because he's not changing inside the game, as also Joan said earlier on, that you need to take the instructions, but on the pitch you need to obviously make something of it. So, which brings me to the standings of the WSL. Chelsea, all of them played 13 games. Chelsea's on 29. City is 2 points behind. 34, 31, and Arsenal are 28. So we are 6 games, 2 games away from it. We're dropping off.
They're under pressure now to win that. I don't think they will now.
And our next game, as you see there, is on the 17th of February against United at the Emirates. So that's going to be a must-win game, and hopefully the other 2 obviously either drop points or lose, Seema. So I mean,
But you see, bringing Leah back at this West Ham game is a starting point for her. So it's giving her the feel for the game. Then she plays again against the London Lionesses. Then she's ready for United.
Yeah,
so I suppose that was her introduction.
There's still a FA Cup game with City before the United.
Yes, they got the City game as well. So again, there's another step in for her, getting her, warmed up, as you can say, because they need her back. So there's no point in her coming on for 10, 15 minutes or, So it's like bring her in, throw her in, and then let's see how she goes. And I suppose this game, tomorrow, isn't it? Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow,
yes.
Yeah. So, bringing her in for that game would be a very good response. And by the way, that Arteta comment you just made, he did make the change, against Liverpool, bang on half time.
I didn't refer to the previous game.
I'm correcting you.
Let's move on to tomorrow's game quickly, because we obviously want to get this done and dusted. This is not tomorrow's game. This is the 17th game.
No, that's United, yeah.
The 2 best friends meet up again. So just to for the sake of time, Joan, what would your predictions be for that game? At home?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Arsenal, it's a must win for Arsenal.
Yeah.
I'd go 2-1 Arsenal.
Ooh. 3-1.
I think we'd be happy with a win, no matter what the score is.
Yeah, exactly. As long as we win.
Yeah.
Convincingly, yes. Giza?
3-2 Arsenal.
Oh.
Glenn win.
Ooh.
3-2.
We're at the Emirates. Come on, we're at the Emirates.
Yeah, I'm going for 3-2. It's going to be a tough one, man.
A 3-0 there. So I think
that's the 1979 FA Cup final score. That's what
I think Alicia is going to score there, and
Yes.
Emily Fox, my new favorite player, she's going to have another assist. I like that girl. She's
Okay.
very
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so that is the ladies, ladies and gents. So coming on to the weekend's game. Seema, we're gonna come to you now. Let's start with John the Geezer.
You're coming to me, yeah?
Yeah, I'm coming to you, mate.
Right, what do you want to know, man? I was stuck on the A1000.
It's just I'm just gonna do a quick round of celebration again.
Yeah, no celebrating. No celebrating.
There's your captain taking the pictures. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah. All on TV. But yeah, do you know what? I was a bit worried about this game because Liverpool, you know, they were class that, mate. Klopp's last game at the Emirates. I thought they was going to come out all guns and blaze. But no, Arsenal done a good job on them. You know, thoroughly deserved that win. They deserve all the credit they get for that game. They slaughtered them. They slaughtered the Scousers. 3-1. Got a bit lucky maybe with one of their goals, but that's the way football goes, you know what I mean? HAVERTZ should have really buried the first, but Saka made sure, showed him how it was done. When Liverpool, that was a bit of a balls up, that goal we let in, do you know what I mean? I think Gabriel actually pushed it in with his hand. He done like a basketball move on, if you watch it, like 360 and whacked it in his own net somehow.
Yeah, but it was Saliba's fault.
Yeah?
It was Saliba's error.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was a freak goal, put it that way. It was a freak goal.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
It was a very lucky goal. But
bang on half time.
Bang on half time. I'm thinking, I'm sitting there stuck in that traffic thinking,
and they didn't have a shot on goal.
Yeah, they didn't.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't have a shot on goal. But do you know what I thought? Liverpool would have come out and turned this around. I was waiting for that to happen in the second half. It just didn't happen. But the funny thing was, I couldn't see it. The people on the radio were saying it was all Liverpool. So I was getting a different impression. That's talk sport for you. There you go. They were giving it in Liverpool's favour.
I was at the game. I could see everything.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't. I was listening on the radio, weren't I? So I've got to go by what they said.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we scored 2-1. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, hey, where'd that come from? But that shows you how biased that talk sport is. They wanted Liverpool to win badly, even on the radio.
Of course.
They got the second goal, got the third, game, set, and match, innit? Do you know what I mean? Bye Liverpool. There's I've watched the highlights since, and brilliant. Well, you know, Arsenal, they deserve. And I've got to give Mikel Arteta, the same man of the match. I think Mikel Arteta, if he was a player, he'd be man of the match. Because what I see at the beginning, I was a bit unsure with the squad, what he put out. But he proved me wrong because I was doubting it. But fair play to him. Do you know what I mean? Jorginho, he had a really great game.
Great game.
He did. He's getting on a bit now, sadly, 32, but he's still got it. Do you know what I mean? He's still got it. And I'm glad Arsenal won because, do you know what? If we'd have got a draw or anything like that, that would have been down to HAVERTZ. And I thought we had a good game. They all played well, all across the board. They played well. And the more we celebrate games like that, the better. It's one thing I will say, Seema, Joan will probably agree with this. I've been supporting Arsenal since 1971. I've never seen a manager in that club get the fans so connected with the players as no manager, not even Wenger.
No.
Mikel Arteta has united everyone. All right, it was a bit flat the week before, but he's done everything in his power to get the fans on board. You know, and you've got to give him 100% credit for that, because sometimes I have knocked him. I've been a bit worried about what he's doing, but as it comes, his heart is in the right place, and I really hope he can bring us some sort of glory.
What I will say is that the fans brought the atmosphere right into the Emirates. They
the 12th man.
You cannot fault. They were, and they were there from the minute you know the players were coming out to the minute the players went in. They didn't want to leave, and they brought that noise. They brought that atmosphere. They brought that brilliance, which is Arsenal. And you could feel it, like your body was like, had the vibrations of those songs. It was just amazing. And I've never seen where I sit, or I won't even say what it is, but everyone was up and dancing. Even those with bad backs, they were up and dancing.
Brilliant.
So it was such a great atmosphere. And that really showed the team that we were behind them, and that the team were listening and they were performing for us.
Yeah. And Sima, you obviously were at the game, and that, I mean, I saw after the game, the final whistle, and I showed the amazing picture. I think somebody on the group has posted a little video, and I could see nobody moving. I mean, the final whistle has gone.
Yep.
The players off the pitch, but the
people... No, can I correct you? Can I correct you? There were people moving. It's just the Liverpool fans were leaving. And they were leaving before the final whistle had even gone.
Were they taking any photos?
Who? I certainly did. I took a video of them leaving, and I was like, bye, see you later. So, you know...
Joan,
yes.
Your take on the game, surely you had an incredible, enjoyable time watching that game, didn't you?
You know, over the last couple of weeks, I've said the things that we need to do: move the ball quicker, put a couple of people on somebody, get up tight and challenge, move the ball forward quickly, and all those things were happening in this game. You know, one thing I can't stand is seeing people just sort of stand about, and it takes about 5 minutes to decide they're going to pass the ball. But it was a completely different plan. And again, a plan executed correctly, and where they were really, you know, really playing, apart from playing for the fans, but playing for each other. And you could see that once you start moving the ball quickly and you interchange positions. We had something different. The last couple of games we haven't had a lot different, but this one we did. And I can't really fault anybody. Yeah, there was a cock up about the goal, but there's always going to be a cock up, you know, sort of somewhere along the line. But it was a magnificent performance, and I think they all deserve a big pat on the back, every single one of them.
Yeah.
You see, even Rolls Royces and Bentleys need servicing. So even Rolls Royces and Bentleys need a bit of servicing. So they do have a little bit of a hiccup, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, our Saliba had a bit of a hiccup. So he's been fine-tuned, and he'll be back.
And he'd done so well. He'd done so well at the beginning there.
Up until that point,
But then, you know, there was a couple of people culpable for that. Like, if it had been me, I'd have been smothering the ball. If I was the goalkeeper, I'd have done something to, you know.
He'll make a good Harlem Globetrotter if he ever gives up football.
Well, anyway, look, at the end of the day, there's 3 points on the table, and
exactly.
That's the most important. But you've got to learn, as good as things are. You have to look at, you know, because of course that'd be the point that gets all the press, the cock up, and not everything else. And somebody taking a photograph, something that I had to see week in, week out at at games, somebody grabbing a camera and taking a picture. But no, it was a great all round performance. Yes,
Oh, they're throwing darts.
Yeah, at the dart. Oh, there it is now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just got to be focused all the time. You can have brilliant for 80 minutes and then a minute of madness and it goes wrong. So, there's always something to learn and take out of a game of where you can improve next time. It has to be, on those little things and watching what we're doing. And but
I heard a quote today which they said a certain pundit begins with M, and he turned around and he said, "Oh, football was the winner here. Oh no, Arsenal were the winners here."
Yeah.
Who was that pundit, by the way?
Mika Richards.
Oh, him.
Well, he's meant to be a gooner.
He's an Arsenal fan.
Apparently so, but when he was asked, he made that comment, and I was like, "What?"
I must give Gabriel Abanglo a big ups because he came to the defense of Arsenal, and I mean he's not an Arsenal fan. He hates Arsenal because of his Villa days and that. He came out and said, "But why must people go on like that? Nobody knows why." The captain took the picture of the photographer. I mean,
but
nobody knows
it. He takes everybody's photo. You know what? I bumped into him in the caf, Stuart.
Yeah.
I was in the caf that morning, opposite the Armory, and there was Stuart, and I was like, "Oh, hi, Stuart." Well, I did take a photo with him. I don't, just in case, photographer photo.
He's a fan himself, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He's a gooner through.
It's a load of baloney about anything. Carragher needs to keep his trap shut.
Yeah.
And I saw what's his name?
They just wind me up too much.
Who was the other pundit with Carragher in the box?
Gary Neville.
No, the other one. No,
Tweedledee and Tweedledum, both of them, man.
No, not Gary Neville.
Roy Keane.
Roy Keane. He was coming out. I crossed him in the hallway, and I was like, "Well, I don't want a picture with you."
Should have fouled him, Seymour.
I should have, but you see, this is before the comments were made. Before the game. Yeah. Next time, I'm going to wait outside that area.
John, the geezer, just take us through this mistake from Van Dijk. Is it Van Dijk's fault or is it Allison's mistake?
Both. Oh, you talked to John. Sorry, go on, John.
Oh, me? So I thought you said John.
I said John the geezer.
Yeah,
John the geezer because then Joan or John, you get confused.
Right. Well, it was both their mistakes from what I've seen. It was a complete cock up, and I loved every minute of it, mate. Best centre back in the world, isn't he? Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
Allison is a very suspect keeper, if you ask me. Arsenal, they played that eye line to a T, a bit like the old Wimbledon style football. And I don't know if you see the Brentford goal yesterday against City. That was direct route, man. Bang. They tried to say it was offside, but I think he never touched it. But yeah, that was a great goal. If you look further down the frame, that keeper's right out of his area. He's like,
he does that a lot though, Allison, doesn't he? He'll come right out.
Football, man. But I think Van Dijk even got a touch of it. So technically, you could say it was his goal. I'm pretty sure if you rewind that, you'll see he gets a touch on it. But
no, don't take it away from Martinelli. He was so good with that little nudge.
I'm not taking it away from him, but in the old days, they used to just give it to the last person that touched it. But do you know what I mean? And Van Dijk, I'm sure he'd want to claim it. I'm sure he. But
I'm sorry, Martinelli just had him running around.
But yeah, Martinelli took that. He executed it excellently. Do you know what I mean? That it was a complete cock up though.
He could have outrun a few more yards. He would have outrun Van Dijk.
And do you know what? If anything, the old what's his name, Odegaard should have gone up and took a picture of Van Dijk. That would have been funny. I bet he was fuming after that game. Them two. I bet they had words with each other. But you know,
this is sorry, John. This is for you, Joan. Van Dijk made that mistake, and being a professional and came out after the game blaming himself that he should have done better. But what does it mean for him? His confidence, obviously. He made a couple of mistakes in other games as well. I mean, this is a huge game that they needed to go 8 points clear of us. What will it do to his confidence as a professional?
Well, I think you could see on his own face, you know, when it happened, that he knew it was a mistake. But that something must have happened. Almost like a communication error between him and Allison.
Yeah.
Because they both seem to arrive at the same time. Yeah, again, the best the best will make mistakes. And in this instance, I mean, let him carry on making them. I don't care. But in this instance, Liverpool have lost the game. We've won the game. But let's sort of track it back and give Martinelli a bit of credit for following up on that mistake and scoring the goal. Because we've said in the past, oh, well, you know, why haven't we got somebody there picking up the loose ball? And there we have. That was a mistake by both Allison and Van Dijk. Van Dijk knows he, you know, is culpable there for some sort of error. And well done, Gabby, for sticking it in the back of the bloody net. You know, long may those mistakes continue. And let's hope they get as big a roasting about them as they like to give us sometimes.
Yeah, no one seems to have mentioned that, do they? It looks, Joan, it looks a bit like Eric Ernie and Mortimer Myers, isn't it? Give me sunshine. They're doing that little move.
Oh no!
So,
I think Morecambe and Wise are in the punditry box, although I prefer to have Morecambe and Wise in the punditry box.
Talk more sense than them, yeah.
Yeah.
what do you guys think? The red card for Konate. I mean, it surely is, for me, it is a second bookable offense because he stopped the counter attack, didn't he? Seema, and then
he barged into Havertz so many times that he was just getting away with it. And the thing is, right, this was already pre-match that, oh, well, the ref's going to be a bit lenient because he was at the game, you know, at the Anfield, and he just let, you know, things loose. So he's going to try and even it up. But no, it was just, he was trying his luck.
Sorry, quickly. Let's just answer this question quickly. Yeah. Some people say Arsenal will be relegated. Is it true or what? Oh my word! Hi, Luton.
Do you know where we are in the league? Do you know where we are?
So I'm not sure who this person is, but welcome. It's probably his first time, but I don't think Arsenal get relegated from that point on.
No, so there's not. No. There's no chance. No.
Answer your question because you're very adamant to answer your question. Sorry, no.
Yes.
We not get relegated in this. So there's your answer, my man.
We've never been relegated, man.
Continue, Seema.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
You can continue. Sorry, man.
Oh, what was I saying? Where was I? What point? Because I was so excited about it all.
The referee.
Red card.
Yeah. Well, that's what I got lost. I thought, no, I know who knows. But no, I mean, the ref, it was tough for him because it was such a hyped up game. There was the atmosphere, the tension, the excitement. So, you know, for him to be calm and collected, you know, but there had to come a point where he had to do it. It was just coming. You could see it. If it wasn't coming for Konate, it was definitely coming for one of the Arsenal players because you could see what was going on. And you were thinking it's sod's law, it's just going to go, because they were trying to wind up Ben White.
Yeah. No, having mentioned that, Joan, what's his name? Gabriel had a similar foul on Nunes just minutes after that, and he wasn't yellow already. My opinion, he should have gotten a second yellow because it's the same foul. So he should have gotten a red card. I don't think it was as vicious as.
I don't think it was as vicious as what Konate was doing.
Look, it depends also where on the pitch it was. The red card for Konate was in our half, and the foul on Nunes was just outside our box. So you can't say it was a prevention of their counter attack, opposed to Konate stopping our counter attack, and that is obviously bookable. But I think Gabriel was very clever in letting him go before he hits the ground in order for the referee not to see that it is a foul. So
Oh
actually,
God, it's back. We're waking up and starting to, do the right thing.
Yeah.
I think we had 6 yellow cards in that game. So
yes, we did. We did.
It was unbelievable.
It didn't seem that dirty a game, but we did have 6 yellows.
I would have loved to see the consistency from the ref, obviously, even though it was one of our players that I think should have gotten a red card or a second yellow card in Gabriel, just for consistency's sake, because we continue going on about PGMOL doing this and doing that, but when it comes to our own players, we should also be consistent in that regard. So yeah, I just thought I'll mention that because for me it was a bookable offense. Any other place on the field you get booked.
Unfortunately, you weren't refereeing the match.
Yes, but it's Paul Tierney, and the narrative, John Geezer, the narrative is that Paul Tierney refereeing Arsenal games, we apparently won 95% of our games when he was refereeing.
Oh, we'll have him for the next one then, thanks.
Yeah, can we have him each game, innit?
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, just for the sake of consistency of the refereeing, I thought you should have just done better there.
I thought Liverpool normally had a Scouser referee their game, so it's even it up.
I've got some nice stats for you, by the way, again.
Okay, go for the stats, lady.
I mean, I know you put some stats on, but these are like, so we regained, inside the final third, possession 8 times compared to Liverpool's 1.
Wow.
We had 52.3% of the duels. We had 21 tackles. We won those to Liverpool's 11. Right? We, as a team, ran 116.8 kilometers, and that's 6.1 kilometers further than Liverpool. And out of which, Odegaard ran the most at 12.75 kilometers.
So that justifying him taking the photo at the end, doesn't it?
Exactly. He's entitled to that.
That was with him at the camera at the end, didn't it? Running around the stadium.
Yeah. Well, he does that every game. Every game he thanks the crowd. So
he does, yeah.
But now he's got the other guys doing it as well. So
that's actually a very good step, and
good.
that shows domination of the game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So this Liverpool legend.
So Carragher on your bike.
No, I'm not talking about Carragher. The guy from from what is that other pundit? ESPN, I think.
Oh,
Stevie something. He was a Liverpool legend as well. He said that Arsenal didn't dominate the game. Oh my word!
Stats are there, mate. You didn't look at the stats. Yeah.
That's the trouble with punditry. These ex-pros now, they're too biased against their teams. They just need to stick with the football, talk about what actually happened on the pitch, forget about what teams they support. That's for us, we're fans. They are meant to be proper football pundits. They're jumping on this AFTV bandwagon. That's what annoys me. I can't deal with them because they're not really professional about what they're doing. It's just ridiculous. So I don't really want to say what I think of them two on there, but I'll keep my thoughts to myself. Yeah, just stick to
one
the
thing,
football.
I don't know if you guys agree with, but one thing I really found exciting was the master plan to take on Liverpool worked to a T. Apart from the fumble of the goal, everything else, he covered it. I mean, they had 2, sometimes 3 defenders on Saka, but they knew how to play it out and get it away from Saka and, be dominant on the ball. These are things that we want to see in every game now.
Exactly.
The way the other teams play.
This is something we've got to do. You have to have your level of performance the same all the time. You're just not going to it's Liverpool this week, we'll pull all the stops out. It's Sheffield next week, we won't care, we'll have a cup of tea,
and also how everybody's saying, sorry Joan, sorry to interrupt, but what about when everyone's been talking about, it's got to be Rice and Partey, but Jorginho and Partey work like a dream.
Exactly.
From start to finish.
That's what I mean. When we went on a bit of a bad run, Mikel Arteta and the team must have done a lot of soul searching, thinking, this is the way I want to win games, but it ain't happening. It takes a lot of bottle to keep to stick with it and change it and tweak it a bit.
Exactly.
And he's done that. I can't knock him, you know. I even said I've lost a bit of faith in the process a while back. But, you know, to his credit, he knows a lot more about football than I do. And he's sticking to his plan and it's working.
Yeah, I wanna bring a point across after you just said that. Now, Joan said earlier on the fact that they move the ball so quick, and we haven't seen that in recent games, and that was always the case last season, wasn't it? That the fact that we move the ball so quick around on the pitch, and the concentration levels was there, and Raya, big ups to Raya, that's always given the ball out very quickly. Once he's got it, you get it out very quickly, because you will always know that the tactics are Martinelli will run behind the defense there, and he will get it to Martinelli. Then we're gonna go to Saka, and then Colin makes a good point here. It was a good performance, but now we need the consistency, and then obviously he'll get juiced. So consistency, Joan. Our next game is obviously West Ham away. So before we get to that, what should we continue doing against?
Exactly what we did against Liverpool. You move the ball quickly, support each other. When you're challenging, you know, get touch tight, hustle for the ball, stick your foot in it. You want the ball, you got to win the ball, and that sort of knowledge that, you know, the interchanging that confuses, you know, teams, players that can switch, you know, sort of switch their role. I mean, Jorginho was really good the other day. Some of those sort of through passes he played, and how quick it was, you know, bang, 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 bang. You don't need 50 passes to get the ball up the pitch. You know, you really. So they've just got to take this momentum forward now against West Ham. I mean, obviously, you know, Declan Rice is going back there, but he's an Arsenal player now, and that's what's got to be in his mind. Yeah.
Sima, your man of the match, was it Jorginho or was it somebody else?
To be honest, the whole team was great. I mean, we haven't even spoken about Trossard. We haven't spoken about Ben White, because Ben White's skills were brilliant. You know, where he was just throwing them off, it was just amazing. I mean, this is what I could see, like, you know, full on, and I'm like, whoa, this guy has really stepped in now. And then Trossard coming on, you know, was just, and I'm really glad also, that he didn't bring on. Go on.
Obviously, I mean, everybody, me included, said, why is he changing Martinelli for Trossard? Big ups to him, obviously. Trossard came out and scored the winning goal, but Martinelli was upset.
He was on fire. He was upset, but because he was on fire. He was really giving it all, and you know, he knew he could get another goal or two, right? But we all said the same. We were like, why is he doing that? Why didn't he just take Kai off? But clearly, you know, he was switching, you know, Odegaard and Kai as two up front, the false number 9, one on the left, one on the right. So, you know, it was working because they were confusing the Liverpool defence. So it was working. So he just thought, okay, let me, you know, just give him a bit of, then maybe there's something that, you know, he saw that Martinelli was struggling with. I mean, I didn't see that, but, you know, and I tend to watch whoever's down that side a lot more. But
and he's got the other games to think about as well. And what we were saying about Arsenal having something different. So, we have got something different. We're going to take and bring, because, you know, eventually patterns of play get worked out by, you know, by what other teams. So you've got to have another pattern of play to bring in. And obviously, I mean, you like to see that little bit of a player being a bit upset about going off, because it means they've got the passion to want to play for the club.
Yeah. John the Geezer, your man of the match, who was that?
My man of the match, I don't know, I wouldn't like to give one, to be honest with you, but the whole team, like I said before, didn't it? Mikel Arteta. I know he ain't on the pitch, but I'm giving him man of the match. Why can't the manager get it?
That's
Yeah.
fair.
I thought the
Yeah.
tactics. He got that game. He got his game plan down to a T. You know what I mean? Liverpool weren't even a threat. Going back to that first goal now. Now, if Havertz had took the opportunity, scored straight away, that would have probably been one of the best goals of the season. As it happened, the keeper saved it, so a deflection. But if you watch the passing from the off,
Yeah.
I think there's about 8 touches, and Bosch Bingy scores. It's a brilliant goal. Do you know what I mean? If Man City or Liverpool scored that goal, people be raving about it. You go back tonight and rewind it, watch it. It really is a fantastic goal, and that's when that passing works. You know, we get a bit annoyed that pass, and nothing happens. The last couple of games, it's working to a T.
Yeah.
And as Joe was saying, it's no good beating Liverpool than going to lose to West Ham. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think this momentum is going to carry on. Something's happened after that. Something's happened after they come back from that break.
Sorry,
they're a lot more united again, and he can switch the team up. None of them players has got a right to be in the squad. So if he wants to swap them and it works, good luck to him. And it's good that they're upset coming off. They should be upset. Do you know what I mean? If they're coming off, because they're playing for the Arsenal, but they are playing for a title now. You know, don't get this wrong. We are within touching distance of winning the Premier League title. It ain't going to be easy. We've still got a long way to go, but it's possible. And all them players must believe that themselves, because if they don't, what's the point of playing football? Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
every game from now on, it should be treated like a cup final, and that's how they should be. They should be well up for it, and they will be.
I mean, he did do something good, didn't he? He did something good. He brought on Reese instead of
Yeah,
Eddie.
that's what I'm saying. I think that's why I give him man of the match. He switched it all about. He played the game to a T, tactical. You just can't knock him.
Yeah.
And I think it's unfair to give anyone man of the match for that game, because they all played pretty well, you know.
Mm.
And nobody's giving Martin Odegaard his flowers because of that first pass to Kai Havertz. I mean, he got the ball from the sideline and just instantly passing the ball over the top. And
That's what I said. That move, the vision and the thought, that's leaving my foot and that's going there.
It's a shame Havertz didn't bury it, man.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful to watch.
And it was a good pace on the pass as well, Joan. So I mean, like you say, Joan, it was a beautiful pass. I mean, nobody's talking about that. They're going on about the celebrations and all sorts of things, but they're not sort of analyzing and unpacking the movements of Kai Havertz. Even Kai Havertz had movements on that pitch.
Actually, Glenn, I'm going to change my mind. Sorry, Glenn, I'll give it to Odegaard, the man of the match, for taking that photo, man.
and do you know what they're not talking about either is the fact that how Arsenal attacked Liverpool's long balls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We didn't give them space.
No.
We just didn't let them have those long balls. Whereas in the FA Cup, they were getting away with it.
Yeah. He changed his tactics, man. He worked it out. At Liverpool, I think they would have been happy with a draw, to be quite honest with you. I didn't see them going for the win. I don't know what their tactics were, but they failed miserably.
Oh, and also, right, Glenwyn, I've got
a
quote for you. No. I've got a quote for you, and it's to do with Jorginho. Okay.
Yeah.
He brought calm and serenity to the engine room.
Wow.
Someone's been watching Star Trek.
No, this is actually from the Arsenal. This is from
what
the
was
Arsenal.
that, John?
They bought it.
Sounds like somebody's been watching Star Trek or something like that.
No, I haven't watched it though, but someone probably has at the Arsenal. But they brought bringing calm.
Scotty's been doing a bit of tinkering.
Yeah. So they said bringing calm and serenity to the engine room.
Yeah, no, he did.
That's what Jorginho did.
He was my man of the match. And I think,
to be honest, I've forgotten about Jorginho. Do you know what I mean? And it turns out he's a key player.
He is, eh? I mean, he didn't play like this ever in an Arsenal shirt. He did very well. He was almost an 8, then he was a 6, then he was a 10, and he was all over the pitch. And I thought his legs is not going to keep him because of his age, and he's not a pacey guy. So I thought he did very well, and I think the link up with him and the wide guys was, and he's forward thinking. He will pass through a defensive line, and nobody would have thought that he would do that because he's a 6 that will pass to the left, to the right, and maybe now and then over the top. Therefore,
him and Rice, great duo.
Yeah, and then of course, Joan, I wanna ask you this question. Jurgen Klopp came out after the game to complain about what I said earlier on about Gabriel. I thought it was obviously a red card or a second yellow card for Gabriel, and he came out and complained about things that happened in other games with Salah and our game with. He's a bit salty, wasn't he?
You know, I mean, there's always going to be somebody got to say something about, you know, this, that, and everything else. But he needs to remember all the things that have gone in Liverpool's way. You know, they've had decision after decision, you know, for them. You know, if we deserve a red card, we deserve a red card. But we deserve a bit of luck as well. It's our turn to have a bit of luck. And you know, like we've had it when we had a go about the Newcastle thing and the ball going out and everything else. So we were taken to the cleaners about that. Now, this has happened. The referee didn't deem it to be a card, so it's not a card, whether it should have been or it shouldn't have been. But I think Jurgen does need to remember all the things that have gone, you know, have gone their way and to some extent continue to go their way. So I don't have too much sympathy with him on this occasion, I'm afraid.
Zero.
John, the geezer, surely he would have a leg to stand on if they had anything done better than Arsenal in this game to obviously justify the fact that they were robbed if that was the case, you know what I mean? But they didn't. They had one shot the entire 90 minutes.
They can't complain, Liverpool. They didn't turn up. I say, I thought when they got that lucky goal in the second half, they would. Right at the end of the first half, they would ramp it up a bit. You know, they're fighting for a title, and they're fighting to win the league. They've only lost one game all season, so they're clearly no mugs. I thought they were going to come at us, but no, mate. We took it back to them. They had nothing to offer. Let's get it straight. We've hammered them 3-1, you know, and deservedly so.
Yeah, we've got to give the team credit for that. We didn't give them a chance to play their game, and that's what
exactly.
And that's what you've got to do. You've got to get in their faces and stop them from playing. The same against Manchester City. You've got to stop them from playing. 9
times out of 10, that when Liverpool play, the ref has got like a yellow liver bird on his top. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can't say nothing, you know. Swings and roundabouts, isn't it? No honest fan, Liverpool fan, can say they deserved anything out of that game.
Yeah, but you know what? Talking about the Liverpool fans, I mean, the arrogance of the fans, I've seen on TikTok, I've seen on X, I've seen all over. We're going to blast, we're going to destroy, we're going to just annihilate the Arsenal.
Sounds like the City fans.
Yeah.
Sounds like the City fans as well.
Enough about Liverpool. They were outgunned, they were outplayed, they are dead in the water, so we don't play them again in this
They
season.
look like a mid-table team, Liverpool, to me, to be honest, that game. I was like, is this Liverpool? What have they actually turned up, you know?
They did, they did.
Compared to that FA Cup game, what I did actually see,
yeah.
I'm like,
but we also played better than them in the FA Cup. We just didn't finish our dinner. That is the problem that we had.
Exactly. We didn't take our chances and got punished for it.
What does that say? That he gave the team 2 weeks to work on this game and the race. So they had that 2-week break. They did a lot of homework. and you can see that on the field.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
it worked in our favour not to proceed to the next round. Yes, I know it's FA Cup, it's our cup, we should be doing it, but you know, hey ho.
I think they trained the night before at the Emirates, didn't they? That before
Yes,
the
they
Liverpool
did.
game.
They did.
And they came out and did training.
Yeah.
It was his Liverpool.
Yeah.
No, Arsenal.
No, Arsenal.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
They trained on the pitch.
They trained a couple of times during the week as well.
Mm.
So they were
Okay.
there a few times, yeah.
Right, ladies and gents, this weekend's game. It's Sunday, isn't it? Sunday? Yes, it's Sunday.
Sunday.
We're going to have to take revenge on West Ham because they came to the Emirates and they beat us 2-0. And then, of course, the ladies went there on Saturday, on Sunday as well, and they got beat. So we have to take double revenge on these hammers on this weekend. Consistency we spoke of early on, Seema. John mentioned earlier on, it's going to be pointless if we go to the London Stadium and go lose against West Ham. Then what happened to Liverpool was purely just the one game, isn't it?
I don't think so. I think we've got a different mindset now. You know, we've switched where we were last season at this time to where we are now, two different teams.
Yeah.
And I think we're more clued on, more switched on, and the boys are hungry for it. You know, and the celebration showed that the fact at the final whistle, they just literally collapsed. So they are hungry, and they're going to get, if they, as they went out to get revenge on Liverpool, they're going to get revenge on West Ham.
So this is going to happen again just for the hell of it this weekend?
Well, they're not going to let Stuart on the pitch, are they? Or are they? Oh, they can just nick one of the other photographers' cameras. Martin can do that quite easily. So.
Yeah,
Let Rice take the photos.
Yeah, that would be like it. That would be very, very nice. In your face, West Ham. Joan, you are obviously very optimistic about this. You said earlier on, and we would like to see the same performance, but this is a different team, obviously, and West Ham is not on a good form.
Yeah, but that, you know, this is where we have to take as we've just been talking about, whether you're on the bottom team or the top team, you've got to take the same passion, the same energy, the same spirit into the game. Just because somebody's position in the league shouldn't determine the way you play. You are a player for Arsenal. If you want the title and you're wearing this badge as proudly as I am, you've got to go out there and you've got to give your blood and do it all on the pitch and get out there and get stuck in and have a go. But to stop doing this, walking around, passing the ball. Oh, is it? I've had the ball for 2 minutes. I'll pass it to the next one now. Move, interchange, think, look, and it will be. We can win this game 2 or 3-1.
So John the Geezer, do we start with the same team or do we change the team?
Start with a winning team, if you ask me. That's always been my philosophy. Whether he will or not, I don't know because of West Ham tactics, but that would be my philosophy. Do you know what? For the game, I might even make Declan Rice, give him the captaincy for the game. Do you know, go on, Declan, you're captain for this one game, just to because I don't think he's still got in his head that he's a West Ham type of player. Do you know what I mean? But he's not. He's an Arsenal, and he will eventually become the joint captain, maybe, or the captain. It's just in his blood to do it. But yeah, if I was Arteta, I think that'd be a smart move. That would really get him his heart bumping. Do you know what I mean? But like what Jones says, they shouldn't need no motivation for any of these games now. We've got 15 games left. They're all cup finals. All potentially we are aiming to win the title. You know, we've got a chance to win that Premier League title. Whatever anyone says, we can win it. But you know, they've got to turn up. It's no point beating Liverpool 3-1, then not turning up against West Ham. But
Yeah.
like what Seema says, I think their mindset, no, that ain't going to happen. You know, they are bang on it, and they're going to be up for this game. But that stadium is a big old stadium. It's a big old pitch. It can be a bit
It's a
daunting.
huge pitch.
Yeah, it's a massive. I don't really like that stadium, but that's one they've got.
That's why I don't think he's going to play 4-3-3. He'll play 4-4-2.
Yes, yeah, he probably will switch it about because it is a massive pitch, isn't it? But
yeah.
we'll see. And I think Arsenal will beat them quite comfortably, to be honest. West Ham, not all that this season. You know, they won their little Mickey Mouse European Cup last season. Fair play to them, but that is what it is. This season, they're on a bit of a downside. Well, they would be. They sold their best player, and I think Declan Rice should sort of assert his authority in this game and upset the West Ham fans, get them on the back foot, and I can't see how we would lose this game, to be quite honest with you.
Any news on Saka? Because I haven't seen anything that is a major knock that he took. But just hypothetically, if he's not playing,
precautionary.
If he's not playing, obviously, then we're gonna have to tweak it a little bit. I think we would change a little bit of the game if any one of these guys took a knock. Then I would bring in Smith Rowe and change a little in the midfield there. I don't know, but let's see. I just thought we're not gonna get into this. Not gonna be time for the team selection.
Well, in a way, right, it was quite good that he went off last week because Reece Nelson covered all right, you know.
He did.
He deserves more opportunities.
Yeah.
I don't think ESR is going to be getting in the first team for a little while. I don't, honestly, I know he got that chance the other day, but for some reason, he's in the back of Arteta's mind. So I think Reece Nelson will probably jump in front. And rightly so after the last game he had.
And also we got an eye coming up on the Champions League games, haven't we? So there needs to be a bit of
exactly.
Also we've got a couple of games after that where I think Smith Rowe would get a good run in those Sheffield, Lutons, the Burnleys, and those type of games. You should get runs in there. I think those are the type of games where you're going to bring him in and give him that confidence, obviously. Right, Joan, prediction.
Oh, dear. 2-1 Arsenal.
Msima.
3-1 Arsenal.
Wow. The Giza.
Yeah.
Well, I've been a bit conservative, so I'm going to go 5-1 Arsenal. Smash the cat kickers, man.
Go for it.
Goals.
I'm going to go for a 4-0, and that is 2 for Arsenal men and 2 for Arsenal ladies. So, that is going to be very, very good to see how we're going to manage to do that. I think if we start the game like we did on Sunday, Joan, we should be in for a very, very good scoreline. 4-0, that should, or 5-1, like you say, or 3-1. It should be a very, very good starting game.
But I do need to remember, I mean, they would have been watching this playback now. So we need to already have that little something different ready.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but they also have don't have key players there. But the only one thing that's concerning for me is that the new guy, Calvin Phillips, didn't have a bad game the other day. His first game for West Ham, he had a beautiful game. So I mean,
was
that
it the
is
first
something
game he
that
scored an own goal or an assist to an own goal?
I don't know if he assisted, but overall play in the game, he had a very good game. So he understands what's gonna be needed from him against Arsenal as well. But that's not the biggest concern. It's just that they've got that stability now in the center there. But yeah, be that as it may, we just went over an hour. It was a good show, guys. I so much want to go further and further and further, but you know what? There's not much time left.
Too much celebrating is not good for us, man.
What was
We
that?
don't want
Say
to
that
upset
again.
anyone. We don't want to upset too many Scousers.
No, you can't, yeah.
Well, look, I really enjoyed that with having banter with my brothers and my nephew, and my quote to them was, "You come in our backyard, we whip you." So
That's it.
look, that's what we want. Why are we always afraid to go to the City Ground, to Anfield, to to the Spurs ground? Why are we always afraid? Let them be afraid coming to us.
Yeah, let it be.
Exactly. These teams should be fearing. We ain't got to fear anyone. They should be fearing
Exactly.
us. Put them on the
Yeah.
back foot. Do you know what I mean?
That's
We
it.
shouldn't be fearing anyone. We've got a title
Yeah.
to win now.
Yes.
We fear no one.
Yeah.
Joan, any last words and final thoughts from you?
Well, hopefully not last words. So.
God bless
Well,
you.
so, like I said, what I saw on Sunday was marvellous. It was uplifting. The whole stadium was on their feet, and I saw glimpses of Arsenal teams that I'd seen over the years. I mean, I go back further than John the Geezer. My first game there was in 1962, so I've seen a lot of
I wasn't
Arsenal.
even born then.
Go on, Joan.
Yeah, so I've seen.
Brilliant.
I was at Geordie Armstrong's home debut, so that's
Wow.
that's a long time ago.
And he was
Okay.
about 15, wasn't he?
And I was proud that day, and I'm proud again of what I've seen. I've never been not proud of the Gunners, and they need to go out there, face up, man up, every single one of them, and give their 100%, because that's what I give as a supporter. I feel very honoured to wear this badge, and they've got to have the pride, the passion and belief that they can bloody beat anyone, right? And up the Arsenal.
Yeah.
Wow. I think you should give the halftime speech.
Yeah, you
Love
can't
it.
top that one.
salute
Well
you,
said,
Joan. I
Joan.
salute you.
Yeah, well, I think that's what they should have. Nikolai said, right, we're going to have a select, a couple of fans to come in here and give the team talk.
Yeah, that should. In fact, that's a good idea for a fan to go into that.
You're in the next team talk, Joan, mate.
That's it.
Nothing would give me greater pleasure than to go in there, because we're seeing it from that side. We can see what we're doing. We're not silent fans, and a lot of us know a lot about football, but we can see what's going on, and they all come up and do this to us to raise the sound. But you've got to earn that from your fans, and we don't just we're not dogs or everybody's just jump up and down when somebody waves to us. And we've learned a lot, and we watch them week in, week out, and it wouldn't do them bad to actually hear it from something. And I don't mean ranting, I mean going in constructively and saying, come on.
Just to hear it from a fan's perspective, that's a very good idea.
Well, that's what they did with that Stuart, didn't they? If you remember, in the Amazon show. Stuart was allowed to give a team talk.
Exactly.
And that went down well,
Yeah.
So I suppose
it's but you have to rage in, to be sensible, and passion and raging are two different things. And so whoever goes in there would have to be reminded of that and conduct themselves with professionalism when you're going to give these talks, because people don't listen to you when you're around.
I reckon, get in there. You'll be brilliant.
Yeah, just get us in. We'll go in. Get in there. Yeah.
We'll see.
After we have our photos taken.
After must
for
first
yourself,
be a photo with photos by M. Erdegaard.
Then you take pictures from them afterwards.
Yeah.
Sima.
No, I mean, like, every fan, whether you've criticized anyone in the team or not, or just always get behind the team, because we see the results when we're behind them. And the most amazing thing that's happening at the Emirates right now is that everyone's coming out with their scarves, everyone's waving, everyone's holding it up when the anthem plays. And that really ups everybody. You know, the atmosphere, the positivity that comes out from everyone is just brilliant. So yeah, keep doing what we're doing right now, and our team will get there.
John the Geezer.
Yeah, crack on, Arsenal. You know, you can't do no wrong in my eyes at the moment. I said from the day one, Glenn win on cannon fodder, that Arsenal can win the league, and I still stick with it. Yeah, it's a long way to go. It ain't easy. No one gives you nothing in life, but them players should be going out every game thinking, yeah, this title's up for grabs. Same as the fans, you know. And I think a few seasons ago when we won the double, Joan and Seymour probably remember, on the coach, the parade coach, they put the 12th man on it, and the fans are just as important as the players, you know what I mean? And Mikel Arteta's he's got this well sussed. You could actually see man of the match with the fans, you know what I mean? This week, because they raised the tempo. They got the players thinking, you know, yeah, we are in a game, because when you go to the Emirates and it's quiet, them players notice it. Do you know what I mean? The fans notice it. It creates a different vibe. It's not, so when it's all buzzing, mate, it's brilliant, and long may it continue. Yeah, Glenn, I still say we're going to win this title, mate, and up the Gunners.
Right, ladies and gents, it was a very good show tonight. I think we will have the next show, not next week, the week after. And I think that is the week we're going to have Champions League the following night. So, or it's Champions League next week.
Next week, isn't it?
Next week, yeah.
Yeah, it's next week.
Glenwyn, can I just say something? Joan might have even been at this game, if you don't mind. It's quite important. Today is the 66th year of the Munich air disaster.
Yes, and I saw that.
And the last game that them guys played on British soil was at Highbury. Arsenal lost 5-4. The score's irrelevant, but what I'm saying is very poignant that Man United played at Highbury. And fans of that era, Jonah know, have never ever forgot. So I know Man United, it was devastating for them, but it was also very devastating for them Arsenal and the United fans at that game to watch.
So it's
one of the best teams in the world, you know,
wasn't it the Busby
Babes?
Busby Babes. Yeah, the
Busby Babes. Yeah,
Duncan Edwards. That would,
yeah, I put a picture up today, right?
Bobby Charlton was.
Yes.
Yeah.
He survived that, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Bobby Charlton said that he never got, you know, he never got over it. He felt guilty for the rest of his life playing that game. Do you know what I mean? And as sad as it was, Man United turned things around and they built a great legacy on the back of that disaster. Do you know what I mean? And brought forward the Man United today as they are in the modern form. Do you know what I mean? But that was a very poignant. Very bad for football, for everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Obviously,
at the end of the day, we're all fans in it and all banter. You know, it's just football is one big community.
You feel it as if it's your own,
And so when you get these idiots saying, "Oh, you're over celebrating, you're taking a mickey out, what you're doing," you know, them people saying that, they are clueless. That's the best way I can put it. They are completely clueless. If you take passion away from football, you have nothing. Simple as that. So,
and that's what I like what Odegaard said after he was asked about the over celebrating. So he purely came out and said is that, you know what, anybody that understands and loves football and can't celebrate when do you celebrate then? And that is just all about passion.
Exactly, and it goes back a long way. You know what I mean? It's just not about the game on the day; it's about the whole football life community. You know what I mean? So these people are just morons, man. Best ignored.
one thing that I want to conclude with is that the first leg of the Porto game, Jurgen Timber will be in the squad, apparently.
Brilliant. Yeah, I
That's
see
good
that.
news.
Excellent.
Yes,
That's good news.
good news.
So you'll probably not start the game, but you will be on the bench. You'll probably get a cameo or something just to give him a bit of feel again.
Yeah,
And I
feel.
hope for
Is
the
the
life
champ?
of,
Sorry, Glenn. When is the Champions League squad slightly different from the Premier League squad? Is it like less players or more players?
no, you've got less squad.
Yeah.
But you obviously have more of your core players in there.
Right.
So
I'll
you
get
need
that.
to obviously register them before the season to say this is your Champions League squad.
Well, I can't keep up with all the rules these days. I'm still in the 1980s, man.
They'll probably change them again soon. So there's a,
They
just
probably will.
just play the game and
I know.
Yeah,
get on with
continue.
it.
And
But
that is
we're
it. I
going
mean,
to need certainly going to
don't
need
take
a
football out of
strong
football. You know what I
11.
mean? Yeah, don't take football out of football. Just please
Exactly,
keep the
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Anyway, ladies and gents, we can continue if you're not going to stop.
Yeah, better let you go, man.
It was good, and it was a great time again to have you, ladies. Joan, Seema,
you.
John, Giza, you're always welcome. And I hope I will always say it and will not stop. I mean, Seema tried to get Chloe on for tonight, but Chloe is very busy at this stage. So hopefully we can have a new lady in our midst. Because this show is for you guys. It's for the ladies, right, John? This is
Exactly.
for
Bang on. Yes.
the tenors and the altos to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And what a good show Seema and Joan do for the Arsenal. They represent Arsenal.
They do.
Anywhere
Hardcore. I mean, the badge there.
Thank
it's
you.
there.
It's a badge there, everywhere. Not that one.
It's there.
Oh,
Right.
it's everywhere.
Thank you for the guys in the chat. I mean, I think they left by now, but thank you for having a chat with us. It was Colin, and that guy Luton Munich, coached by Wayne Rooney. I don't know where he comes from, but Arsenal getting relegated.
Liverpool, I reckon. Scouser.
Yeah, and those guys on TikTok for following and whatnot. So yeah, thanks a lot, and be blessed, and also be good and love one another. Don't be extra. Just be lekker.
Yeah.
Anyway, good evening, guys. Good evening, ladies and gents. And yeah, that's it.
Up the Gunners.
And
Have a good
good.
one.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Up the Arsenal.